During my first year on the board, like I would argue so many others when they first join the board, you join and you think that you know everything. You think that your experience in whatever field, professional field that you came from or that you're still in has properly prepared you to serve in this capacity. And I'll speak for myself in saying that I was the one who thought that, right? So being a teacher, piloting 2 district-wide initiatives, doing all of this work in the communities, in the classrooms, outside of the classrooms, I thought I was prepared, adequately prepared to serve on the Milwaukee Board of School Directors. The reality is you get in and one of the first things that you're given is a binder. And that binder, I believe, included maybe my first year or so, 900 or so pages. And if I'm not mistaken, this was a budget of about $1.7 billion. And you're given this budget and you're given about maybe 2 weeks or so to go through this entire document, identify the need as it outlines with as it aligns with the dollars, and also trying to correlate that or connect that to the data that shows the needs and shows the priorities of the needs. You have that, and you're expected to go through this 2 weeks, 900 pages, 1 point whatever billion dollars, right? With that, it is humanly impossible unless you have nothing else going in your life. It's humanly impossible to really make sound 1000% accurate decisions and catch every inequity. And so I think that is the beauty of serving on this board, where the things that you catch others may not. You're able to share those ideas, you're able to share that input, you're able to assess the data and everything else as you go, and you're able to engage in a collective process where you're creating this equitable funding source that is going to show our constituents where we're spending money, how much we're spending there, what the greatest needs are, so on and so forth. My first year coming in, that was not my reality. It was not my reality that we meaning the board, were going to be able to work together to figure this out in a sufficient amount of time where we can then make sound decisions and make sure that we're capturing all of the needs and all of the concerns of constituents, of our students, teachers, and so on and so forth. That was not the reality. One, we're limited by the number of board members that we can engage with or talk to about one specific matter, unless it's noticed that there's a public or walking quorum, and then we'd have to engage in that discussion publicly. That's one restriction. The other restriction is you just have 2 weeks to read and to comprehend this data, or the data, in addition to the budgeting and the allotments. It just wasn't a reality. And I think anyone would be lying if they said that they went through 900 or so pages in 2 weeks and then assessed all of the data and was able to approve of this financial document, this legally binding document, with all security or confidence that every decision or everything that was in it would be what our kids need in order to be successful. So with that, I had been approached by constituents regarding excessive heating in the schools. I was approached by the Secretaries Union. I was approached by the Engineers Union. Like, everyone had concerns, had their own ideas about how the money should be spent, when, where, how, all of that. And I feel like as a school board director, it was my duty to listen, and then to go back to the drawing board and figure things out, work with the administration and my colleagues to make equitable decisions that align with the needs. And so I engaged in that process fresh on the board after April 2021, and I had a few successes, but they weren't significant enough to really make an impact in the outcomes of our district. The other part is I was just so new. It was like we had a short amount of time, maybe less than a week, to get amendments in. And it's like you want to consider or capture, the concerns or the ideas again of your constituents, but you just couldn't do that. And so I decided to enroll in some professional development that would help me better understand how to be a strong fiscally responsible or fiduciary agent. And so I enrolled in Edunomics Lab, the Edunomics Lab at Georgetown University. I also had a meeting with the Office of Accountability and Efficiency. And I'm skipping a little bit over time, but this was around the time when I submitted amendments to propose that we reallocate funding to address the HVAC systems, the air conditioning in some of our schools. And it was a very expensive